All right. And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reflect on what we were talking about earlier, our first two segments, we talked about we reviewed what happened on WWE SmackDown. We also previewed what's going to happen on WWE Raw. So let's go ahead and talk about our third segment. We have injuries that plague the King of the Ring. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Remember, guys, I would love to hear your voices. So use the tips and donations link at the GSMC podcast.net with your questions. This puts your questions on top so I can see it. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. We'd love to kind of hear from you. It'd be awesome to kind of hear somebody else's opinion and perspectives about things besides my own because, that's good banter. That's good banter. That's what sports is all about. 100%. 100%. So, let's go ahead and jump right on into this. So, first and foremost, we have Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio. Probably has to get surgery, Tommy John surgery. So I don't know when he's going to come back. I don't think him being out really messes up any potential storylines for WWE. Ultimately, I think it's going to be him, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough turning their back on Damian Priest. And I think he's probably going to turn his back on his mommy and, be with Liv Morgan, kind of creating a storyline within that. I just hope it doesn't involve romance or anything like that because that'd be stupid as hell. But, well, that's just my opinion. You guys can share your opinions. Tell me if you would like to see that. I don't understand why you would, but, I've seen worse things, be successful. So, Dirty Dom out. Not really a big hit. CM Punk being out was kind of a big hit. He was projected to win the Royal Rumble. He was supposed to a main event WrestleMania. Got injured during the Rumble thanks to Drew McIntyre. So now you kind of see them feuding back and forth. Sucks. Honestly, really does suck. And it kind of shows that also CM Punk coming back and he's, kind of a little seasoned, a little older than obviously, when he left. But he was doing great things in AEW where he was doing hardcore matches and stuff like that. So, I still have faith that, his glory days or his good years are not behind him just yet. Can't wait to see when he comes back. Can't wait to finally see this Drew McIntyre and CM Punk storyline unfold. So, but he's, right now he's injured, but he's going to come back. He's this close. And what I found out a couple days ago, how Selena Vega was replaced by Maxine Dupree in her match against Shayna Baszler. The former Queen of the Ring wasn't able to kind of defend her title, but I don't know. It just kind of sucks. Potential storylines. It could have been, maybe a squeeze match where it would have been a little kind of would have been a little closer than people thought because whenever they see Shayna Baszler get into the ring, they're like, oh, Shayna Baszler is going to kill whoever's standing on the opposite post. But Zelina Vega, she has heart. She has heart. She's kind of like the Rey Mysterio of the women's division, just because you might be smaller than the other competitors doesn't mean crap. Your in-ring capabilities, your style of wrestling, big guys, just like women that are, bigger in stature, physically, like smaller wrestlers find a way to win. And that's what makes wrestling so, crazy to watch because sometimes, I saw Rey Mysterio win the Royal Rumble. It was like, what the heck? I saw him, winning a triple threat match with Randy Orton and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 22. And I was like, well, it's crazy, but it was good, and he was a worthy champion. So definitely interested to see what they're going to do with Zelina when she comes back. She's a great wrestler, and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is injured as well. I guess they said it's not as serious, his elbow, so he's not going to need surgery, but he's going to have to just kind of take it easy. Just kind of take it easy when it comes to because you don't want anything worse to happen that's going to put you on the shelf longer than you need to be because you need to be out in that ring, especially Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, he was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Let his guard down, let his anger get the best of him. CM Punk, a little sis too. But ultimately, dude, you knew that Damian Priest was lurking in the back with that Money in the Bank contract. Come on, dude. Come on, man. What are you doing, Drew? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? And also Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso, well, him kind of being out, building tension of the new tribal chief and Paul Heyman, a potential civil war amongst the bloodline. maybe Jimmy being out right now was kind of good for Jay to kind of establish himself as, like I said, as a singles competitor. Also, maybe the potential guy that could take down Solo Sikoa, his younger brother. So, the Usos brought him in. They could ultimately be the ones to kind of, kick him out. This new bloodline, that's new young bloodline with Tamatanga, Tangaloa, and Solo Sikoa. So, definitely interested to see what they do in terms of that. Um, so that was that slideshow. And then also, we're just kind of moving on. Ray Ripley. Ray Ripley being injured is devastating. Absolutely devastating for WWE, her career, and just her momentum, man. She was an amazing champion. She was doing great. And ultimately she got injured, her elbow, thanks to Liv Morgan, her revenge tour. Just kidding. So she's gonna be out for like 3 months. Definitely can see her coming back, maybe more toward like SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series, but ultimately I kind of, wish that, she did not get injured. But like I said before, hopefully Triple H knows what he's doing. Next we have Shotzi. Shotzi, she injured her knee. I guess she rammed into the side of the apron when she was in a match. And I don't know, that just sucks, man. That just sucks. Imagine like trying to put on a good show and then just a small little, like a small little tweak, like even when you're at the gym or even like when you're playing like sports and stuff like that, like just especially when you get older, like you'll do something like you play basketball and like you can't move the next day. Just kidding. No, like in your back's like, oh my back, like, I'm getting too old for this. Like, for me, I don't know why, but it's always my heel. It's always my Achilles heel. And I'm like, dude, why is this so sore? Like this is stupid. I feel like it's already hard for people to like get up and do cardio and run. And sometimes my mind's like, let's do it, let's do it. And then my something happens to my freaking leg, man. I'm like, dude, like, come on, like, you guys need to be simpatico, mind, body, and soul all the way. But anyway, it's kind of sucks with Shotzi. She was a good superstar. Interested to see if she's going to, WWE's gonna, push her even further. So yeah, pretty crazy. Next we have Cruz del Toro, part of the LWO. They're a huge tag team. They're really good. I love seeing them in action, high flyers. Yeah, but like with a little bit of power, like that tag team duo. I feel like they're great in the ring. I would love to see them fight the Awesome Truth or A Town Down Under. But ultimately, he's not here. Kind of sucks for WWE. Kind of sucks for potential storylines and stuff like that. So definitely devastating. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins could absolutely would have been a huge pick to win the King of the Ring if he didn't hurt his knee. It's just crazy. Like if you pay attention to that match, if you go back and watch WrestleMania night one, this guy was just in pain, man. Like it was crazy. And then night two, he came out, and a lot of people thought that it was just kayfabe and he was babying his knee. That was for real. That was for real. He barely made it up to the apron, man. Like, and then you saw Roman Reigns, like, I think that was a huge reason why when he came into the ring, Roman Reigns automatically just knocked him out with a steel chair. Like, I think about that now, and I'm like, hey, that kind of makes sense. Like Seth probably was like, all right, I'll make an appearance, but I can't do much, guys. And then so Roman's like, yeah, dude, I'll come in, I'll just knock you out of the chair. You can lay down for the whole match. Dude, it's cool. It's cool. So definitely, Seth Rollins could be a huge player in the King of the Ring. He's not there. Kind of sucks, but it kind of gives younger talent, more of an excuse and more kind of like kind of like a chance. Everybody needs a chance. So yeah, well, that was my segment about injuries plaguing the WWE and, most importantly, the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. So, yeah, kind of moving forward, we have our Memorial Monday. It's a new segment where I'm going to talk about wrestlers who have passed on due to unfortunate events, due to, old age. But I'm going to talk about how they cemented their legacies before moving on to the great beyond. So, hey, don't go anywhere. All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We talked about our WWE SmackDown review. We talked about our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. And we talked about injuries in the WWE that has affected stipulations heading toward Jeddah, Saudi Arabia's King and Queen of the Ring tournament. So yeah, next we're gonna talk about our Memorial Monday. Of course, got to go with one of my favorite guys. One of my growing up, absolutely love this guy. Absolutely, such a tragedy what happened. probably one of the biggest tragedies in WWE. Eddie Guerrero, my man, passing on. So that's going to get on into it. So, like I said before, Eddie Guerrero, he was one of the best to do it. Definitely 110%. As a heel or a baby face, this guy just got you on his side. This his in-ring capabilities, his presence on the mic, and just in the backstage. In the backstage, obviously once when a wrestler passes on, they have like a tribute show, and you could just tell just the sadness in everyone's voice that this guy made such an impact in everyone's life backstage. Like everybody needs that one coworker. Everybody needs that one guy that kind of shows them, even when if it's a crappy day and or the business is in turmoil, and you need that guy and like that sense of positivity and stuff like that. Like Eddie was there. Eddie was there to help young guys. He was there to help veterans and stuff like that. Like no one was, obviously you acknowledge his in-ring capabilities and what he established in terms of titles and stuff like that, but backstage is probably one of the biggest reasons why Eddie Guerrero was probably one of the most missed wrestlers backstage. So like I said, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2006. Couple quotes. I got a quote from his family members. Eddie was born to wrestle. Absolutely, he was born to wrestle. They had a wrestling ring in their backyard, Gory Guerrero and stuff. That's cool. I would have loved to have that as a kid. Well, not I probably would have hurt myself 110%. But ultimately, I feel like it kind of sucks once when he passed on. Absolutely detrimental. Super sad. See my man right there, Kenneth. What's up, dude? Hope you're having a great night. Glad. Thank you for tuning into my show for just popping in to say hi. Still, just means a lot to me. Definitely, definitely gonna watch your show tomorrow. Huge fan. Absolutely huge fan. He's the host of the GSMC Football Podcast. Definitely a little side story. Definitely, once when I applied at this internship, I was doing a little research about the company, and I saw one of his podcasts and I heard it and I was like, damn, this is gonna be badass. This is gonna be pretty cool. So definitely my man, Sensei, the OG, Kenneth, my man. So moving on, more Eddie Guerrero talk, and he was able to take fans from a journey to like, even if you loved him, even if you hated him, just he could be like the biggest heel. He could also be one of the biggest baby faces, but they loved him. They loved him. That's what his wife, Vicky Guerrero, said. Sad, his widow. Eventually, she made it to the WWE to kind of protrude that legacy built in the Guerrero family. Definitely like the Guerrero family. Kind of like was sort of like kind of a bloodline thing. Bloodline with the Roman Reigns, The Rock, Rikishi, older and old like Jimmy Snuka and stuff like that. Like the Guerreros were prominent mostly in like lucha libre, Mexican underground wrestling and stuff like that. He's wrestled in New Japan Wrestling. He's performed in Mexico and Japan. He's wrestled in ECW, WCW, WWF, WWE, and he was the original Latino Heat. Like, of course, you have Dirty Dom coming here, trying to be the fake man. You're not the real Latino Heat, man. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just before I get too worked up here. I'm just kidding. No, but so like I said, he was original Latino. He's won championships like the European Championship, Intercontinental United States, WWE Tag Team titles on consecutive occasions with different partners like Tajiri. He also won with, of course, his nephew Chavo Guerrero. Probably was one of his his best. He was with the Radicals. If you don't know who the Radicals were, it was Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn. So that was, when they made it to the WWF, they kind of made, they made waves. Definitely made waves. So Eddie Guerrero, he beat Brock Lesnar at No Way Out for the WWE Championship. He was a huge, huge, huge underdog. Eddie Guerrero had to, he obtained this opportunity in this number one contendership in a 15-man battle royal that happened on SmackDown. He was able to come out victorious, win his victory, had his moment. Definitely love it. He had his moment in the ring, obviously, with Chris Benoit and stuff like that too. That was very, very. It was sad. It was, and then looking back on it now, especially what happened to both these guys, absolutely detrimental. Especially, I was a huge fan of Chris Benoit and Eddie. Oh, that's hot. I know. I'm just like as a wrestler, and it's still like it's still hard to kind of talk about this because I'm like of everything that's happened. But let's move past it and let's move through it. So He was born and raised in El Paso, Texas. He graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School in 1985. He actually attended the University of New Mexico where he wrestled, which was pretty badass, which is pretty cool. I like that. He feuded with greats like Kurt Angle, Edge, or Adam Copeland, JBL, John Cena, just all these dudes that eventually made it to probably what, shaped the ruthless aggression era. Definitely had to think about Eddie Guerrero if he would have, if he definitely would have been alive still. His trademark move was the Three Amigos, where he would do three consecutive, suplexes, and then he'd get up on the top rope, hit the frog splash, and bam. Definitely one of the best frog splashes in the professional wrestling industry. Obviously, that's the reason why Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné, that's the reason why her move is the frog splash. And obviously you kind of see Dominic Mysterio mimicking it and kind of making fun of it. But behind the scenes, behind kayfabe and stuff like that, in reality, you know that he's doing it to honor Eddie. Absolutely. Like, you know that he's paying his respects. He might be on screen, this total D bag, but honestly, that's his move, man. That's his move. Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero were very, very close. So, you know, kind of love that. You see frog splashes now like so commonly used. Like you see Rhea Ripley also hit the frog splash. You see the Uso splash, and like it's that you gotta help to think that that was had something to do with Eddie. I know Jimmy Supervised Snuka did it as well, but Eddie Guerrero is definitely one of the best at the frog splash. So yeah, and even when he passed, you saw match dedications from CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, because these guys they idolized Eddie, they loved him, and unfortunately, what happened? Tragedy. He passed on November 13th, 2005. He was 38 years old. Damn, that was young. TNA, Ring of Honor, OVW, and the CZW did tribute shows, as well as WWE, WWF, obviously. And he's, like I said, he's a Hall of Famer 2016. Definitely, Loved Eddie Guerrero. I remember coming home from school. I This was before cell phones, or no, cell phones were there, but I remember having to like go online to kind of look at my wrestling news and stuff like that. My sister told me when I came in, and she was like, "Hey, Eddie Guerrero passed, dude." And I was like, "No, are you serious? Like that's terrible." That was absolutely like I was just shocked. Gonna admit, I did cry, absolutely cried. And then you watch this. I don't know if any of you guys watched that tribute show. I don't know how many old wrestling fans were here when they had that "I'm here without you, baby," like that freaking Three Doors Down song. And then Johnny Cash is hurt, and it was just oh god, like playing on those heartstrings, man. Too much, too much. I'm breaking down right now. I might cry right in front of you guys. No, I'm just kidding. No. Just kidding. All right, guys. Memorial Monday. Eddie Guerrero, definitely appreciate you. Know you're looking down on us from heaven right now, Eddie. Just know that we love you, we miss you, definitely appreciate you when you were on this earth. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on with the a little more brighter topic. So recently over the weekend we had our we had Mother's Day. So I want to move into some kick-ass moms that wrestle in WWE, and let's call it Mommy Mayhem. So hey guys, stay tuned. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We talked about our WWE SmackDown review, our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. We also talked about how injuries in the WWE are affecting the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments and feature like storylines heading toward Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And then fourth segment, we talked about our my new segment, Memorial Monday, where we talk about wrestlers who have passed on and how they left their legacy and they cemented it in the professional wrestling world. Obviously, got to pay your respects and stuff like that. So yeah, next we have WWE Mommy Mayhem. So let's go ahead and finish off with this. It's going to be pretty fun. Honestly, these girls are absolutely dynamite at what they do in and out of the ring. So yeah, it's going to pay some of our tributes here. So next, first we have Carmella. We have Carmella. She debuted in 2016. She won the first ever women's Money in the Bank match, which is actually pretty damn cool. She's a former SmackDown Women's Champion, a women's tag team champion as well, and she's also a four-time 24/7 champion. Like that's crazy. She assumed the role as a stepmom from she got with Corey Graves, married Corey Graves, and he had three kids from her previous marriage. and she had her, they had their own baby in November of 2023. So, definitely love the mom in here. Definitely some, excuse me, so it's someone to look forward to and stuff like that, look up to. And, Carmella's definitely, definitely miss her scene in the, definitely miss her in the ring just because she had that spunkiness to her. Like she had that attitude and stuff like that. Definitely, like when you watched her, she knew how to cut a pretty good promo. So, definitely excited to see her come back. Yeah. Next we have Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus, obviously one of the best women to fight at the end of the Attitude Era, where she was kind of starting to wrestle a little bit, and definitely part of the Ruthless Aggression Era. The Ruthless Aggression Era, definitely, I know it was back in the day where they used to have the bad matches and stuff like that that disrespected women and stuff like that. But after that all kind of ended and WWE went PG, she did well for herself. She was an impressive champion. She's a seven-time world women's champion. She had a reign that was 448 days long. That's pretty damn crazy. She's also a Hall of Famer, 2013, and she has two kids. Absolutely two kids. She's married. So darn it, I'm just kidding. No, no, she was great. She was great. Definitely one of the best divas I watched growing up. So yeah, definitely got to pay some respects to Trish Stratus, one of the best to do it. Absolutely, 100%. Next, we have Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae debuted in WWE in 2018. I found out she's a 20-year veteran of wrestling. That's huge, man. She's probably started wrestling when she was in her teens. Definitely like a passion that she wanted to pursue and stuff like that. And she's obviously married to WWE. And Raw, no, I think no, yeah, Raw star, Johnny Gargano, part of DIY with Tommaso Ciampa that you kind of see right there on her wedding, photo and stuff like that. So, pretty cool, pretty dang cool. She's also she was part of the NXT World Tag Team Champions, and yeah, definitely, like you said, gotta respect the moms. So, Candice LeRae, you've been respected. All right, next we have, the man, Becky Lynch, the first ever one of the first ever women to main event WrestleMania. Becky Lynch has just been on fire for the past 2 years. And honestly, WWE is better because of it. Becky Lynch is definitely, she's helped this division and not just division. Like, I know a lot of people have this speculation that, she's starting a new women's revolution. And I don't discredit that, or I don't think that's happening because if you have Becky Lynch on any roster, there's a revolution going on somewhere. Like she's that damn good. She's honestly that damn good. She's putting WWE up in new heights and stuff like that. And definitely got to credit her, pay your respects. Absolutely love Becky. Absolutely love Becky. She's a four-time women's champion. Her first child was in December of 2020. I remember actually when she kind of left WWE and maternity leave, where she had Oscar had the briefcase, opened it expecting to see a contract. It was the women's championship, and it was emotional. Then Oscar hugged her and stuff. Oh god, it's getting me all emotional. Getting me all emotional. What you guys want? You guys want to see me cry today? Like, what's wrong with you guys? You guys are sick. You guys are sick. I'm just kidding. Next we have Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix, her roster debut was in 2006. She's a four-time women's champion. She married Adam Copeland, and now she has, two beautiful daughters. Had one in 2013, 2016. Great spacing there. That's kind of how my kids are. Like I have, 3 years apart. I have 8, 5, and 2. So honestly, three's a pretty good number. So, and yeah, she made it in a Hall of Fame in WWE in 2017. So Beth Phoenix, I remember watching her growing up as well. She was more like, she was the glamazon. She was more like more mostly a heel. I don't even remember seeing her as a baby face. Or maybe that's, I did take a break from watching WWE. So maybe that's when she was, kind of went baby face there. So, yeah. And so let's talk about Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, so she's definitely up there with Becky as well. Should be respected. She's a stepmother to Montez. She doesn't really necessarily, she never had kind of a kid herself, but she's a stepmother to Montez Ford's two children, and like she's a stepmom, but she's the mom. She's the mom. That's a lot of things that a lot of people kind of don't give step parents that much credit, when in reality, like those kids kind of become, yours. Like it feels like you have had them. Like I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy, but there's kind of like they're your own. They're your own. You love them, like you know. Like you went to the hospital and went through labor and stuff like that. Like it's just it's so great. It's so great. Love Bianca Belair. Love what she's doing in the WWE. Definitely entertaining. One of the most entertaining women I've ever seen in a WWE ring. AEW, EC, all over the professional wrestling industry. Like I've never seen anybody like Bianca Belair. And that just shows that she's gonna be around for a long time. She definitely deserves all the respect. She deserves everything that's because she's worked for everything. She's worked for like she's probably one of the hardest workers in the WWE locker room. Like, and I'm not trying to discredit anybody else, but I definitely love Bianca Belair, love and respect her. Definitely good at momming. Total mom, love that. Next we have Valhalla. If you don't know who Valhalla is, it's Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan. Um, She's married to Eric, Viking Raider Eric. She manages the Viking Raiders. I kind of want to see her. I don't know. Last time, she was part of the Riot Squad. The Riot Squad with Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and herself. So I want to see her do more. That's she looks happy. Like she looks. I think she could do. Well, she's not like the main event, like, yeah, but she kind of has that, that I don't want to say weirdness because I don't want to sound like a jerk. Kind of like that Bray Wyatt esque, like it's just something different. It's something new that, that's probably why I'm a big fan of hers, is because you're not that traditional like wrestling superstar that comes in with like your average ordinary hairdo and like your tights or like with your top or something like that. Like it's just something different. Something, sometimes it's good to have a different like perspective in terms of like how you want your character portrayed in terms of professional wrestling. So yeah, kind of running out of time here. I don't want to run too quick. We do have the soccer podcast right after this, so stay tuned. Next, we have Tamina. Tamina, she's the daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. She debuted in 2009. She's a one-time women's tag team and a nine-time 24/7 champion. I know what I thought that was just for men. That's crazy. Like seeing these women, like totally win it. Definitely adds to their resume more power to you, more respect. I love that. And she has two beautiful daughters right there, and that's so cool. She looks absolutely happy. Definitely would want to see her in the WWE ring again. I don't think it's the end of the Tamina reign, but would love to kind of see her, back on the main, weekly to weekly basis. And we also have Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss, she debuted in the 2016 WWE draft. She's a five-time women's world champion. She's a three-time women's world tag team champion, Money in the Bank winner, and she's also a 24/7 champion as well. And she had her first baby in December of 2023. So can't wait for her to come back as well. And lastly, we have the Empress Asuka. She's been wrestling ever since 2004 in Japan. Came to WWE 2015, had the 914-day undefeated streak. She's a five-time champion, three-time World Tag Team Women's Champion, Money in the Bank winner. This girl has, she's done it all. She's won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, which is obviously very, very impressive. And yeah, love Asuka. Love what hopefully WWE. And one of those things like where she's injured as well. Obviously, Bobby Lashley's injured as well too. I think I might have grazed over that. I don't know if I included. I think I did. I think I did. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I'm just kidding now, but yeah, definitely love those two superstars. Love Asuka. I want to see her. I wanted to see her win this Queen of the Ring tournament, but I guess you can't always get what you want. So yeah, that was my my mommy mayhem. Hope you guys liked it. Definitely, in the spirit of what happened over the weekend. So thank you guys for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us. So please remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show and leave a positive review. Absolutely. A little peace, love, and positivity at the GSMC Sports Network. It really does make a difference, guys. We need you guys to thrive and be successful and stuff like that. We also invite you guys to follow us on Facebook, Twitter/X, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. And like I said, if I haven't made you a wrestling fan by now, we have sports. We have basketball heating up with Nelson in the playoffs. We have hockey. We have football with Kenneth, like I mentioned before. We have the Andrew Tate Show. We have Hoops and Heels, all things women's sports. Your one-stop shop for women's sports with Samantha, and it's just super cool, guys. This family of podcasters, these guys who have a very like good passion and passionate force for sports, and you guys can see it for absolutely for free, like ESPN or Fox Sports, and we love our audience, guys. We love you guys. I love you guys. I'll stop singing for today. It's just always been kind of mushy enough. Like I said, stay tuned for the soccer podcast with my man Emron. And yeah, hope you guys like the show and have a phenomenal day.